What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I want to talk about an exchange that is quickly becoming one of my favorites. And it's also one of the very few exchanges that are available in the US. So if you're one of our US Candle Mafia members, you might want to check them out as well. And that exchange is Blowfin. So in today's video, I want to give you guys an overview of the actual exchange, some of the things that they have to offer, because it's quite a lot. And for some of the new Candle Mafia members, I do want to jump into the actual trading dashboard and show you guys how you can use leverage to increase your profits and make money trading crypto, whether the price is going up or down. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the actual exchange, talk about some of the features, and then dish out some of that leverage trading sauce. Let's get into it. So here we are on the actual exchange, guys. And if you scroll down a little bit here, you'll see your typical crypto exchange stuff. You can see markets here where you can see all of the coins that they offer. Now, this is something I love about Blowfin. They oftentimes list the altcoins very, very quickly, even the meme coins. And you can see some of the top coins here, the hot coins, the top gainers, top losers. And then if you click on this See All Markets tab, you can actually pull up all of the coins that they offer, separated into all of these different sections here. You have the hot coins, the meme coins, RWA, BRC20, trending new, AI, ETH staking, metaverse, DeFi, GameFi, etc. And you can see there is absolutely no short of altcoins on Blowfin. Again, one of my favorite things about them. And then you could go ahead and click these stars to add them to your favorite lists if you have any coins you like to trade specifically. And you have the coins that are available on spot as well as futures. If you're looking to short or use leverage, you could check out the coins they have available with perpetual futures. And like I said, there is no short of altcoins on Blowfin. So if we go ahead and move on over, click the spot tab here, guys. This is where you're going to be looking to buy and hold assets. If you just wanted to buy some Bitcoin and hold it long term, you would buy it on spot, meaning no leverage at all. You're just going to buy it, hold it, and hope it goes up over time. And then you can see we have the futures tab here where they do have trading bots available. I'm not going to go into that in this video, but this is what we're going to go over more in just a second. However, if we skip that tab for now and come on over to copy trading, this is another really cool thing that Blowfin offers. You can actually go ahead and follow some awesome traders here. You can see their 90-day ROIs, and you can go ahead and find a trader that you like. Go ahead and click on their profile, and you can see more details on their actual recent trades. You can see their win rate, how many trades they've taken over the past 30 days or more, and then you can see how many winners they have. This guy actually won most of his trades here, which is not a bad sign. However, you want to remember, copying someone's trades blindly is extremely risky, so obviously you want to make sure that you're not playing with money that you don't want to lose, but it is something cool to play around with if you're interested in that. And you can see their profit and loss here, their trading preferences, what coins they actually like to trade. This guy seems to really like render. And then you can go up here, check out their current positions, which this guy does not seem like he's in any trades right now. You could check their recent trades, if they won, if they lost. This guy does seem to win a lot, and he has an adorable dog as a profile picture. And in the Candle Mafia, that is a plus. And then they have another more tab here with some other extra stuff. But in today's video, what I really want to focus on here is on the futures tab, because if you're looking to long and short the market, this is going to be what you want to look at. So let's go ahead and click on that futures tab, and you guys can see here that we do have the trading panel here. Now, this does look similar to the spot dashboard. However, it is different because you will be able to use leverage here. Now, if you guys are interested in checking out Blowfin and signing up yourself, we worked out an awesome deal for the Candle Mafia where you can actually get some awesome rewards here. If you deposit a certain amount of money, you will get some futures bonuses, which is basically just some extra cash to open up free positions. If you make profit on the money, you can keep it. However, you can't withdraw the original amount, but if you make profit on it, you can absolutely keep the money, which is super, super cool. But you have to make sure that you're using these bonuses within 7 days. Otherwise, they will disappear. And there's only 100 spots available, and it is open until July 12th. So if you're interested in that, click the link in the description down below to go ahead and claim those rewards, assuming there's still spots open. Now, here we are on the futures trading dashboard. And as you guys can see here, you have your chart here, which is obviously going to be pretty important if you're looking to get into trades. You have your order book here, and then you have the actual trading panel here. This is where you're going to be executing all of your actual trades. And then if we do open a position in a minute, you guys will see they will pop up down here. Now, guys, if you are going to use leverage to trade, you have to understand, although leverage does increase your position size, giving you more money than you actually have to trade with, which could increase profits like crazy, it also does come with a lot of risk. For example, if you used $100 and you used 100x leverage, you would actually be able to open a $10,000 position with only $100 of your own capital. However, this increases your risk very, very greatly, as when you use leverage, you have something called a liquidation point. And that basically means if the trade goes against you and winds up coming down or up to your liquidation level, whether you're in a long or a short, if price taps that liquidation level, you will lose all of your money in full and it will completely close out your position and you lose everything. And if you're using something like 100x leverage, your price only needs to move about 0.5% in the wrong direction before you absolutely lose all your money. So if you're not an experienced trader and you don't often use leverage, or if you're new to leverage, I would recommend sticking below 5 or 10x leverage just to keep things a little safer, because the lower leverage you use, the further away your liquidation point is. So nothing comes for free. Sure, they're giving you a whole bunch of extra money, but it does come with extra risk. So please, please, please be aware. This is a warning. Leverage is risky. Now, as we take a look here on our trading panel, you can see that we have create order, right? So there's two main types of orders. We have market orders and we have limit orders. For me personally, I usually use market orders as I like to get into aggressive entries here. That basically means when you hit the buy button or the sell button, you're getting into the trade immediately. And again, like I said, this is typically the type of order that I use in most cases as I'm an aggressive scalper and day trader. However, you also have limit order here. So if we go ahead and click that, basically what this allows you to do is it allows you to set a price to put an order that sits there passively and stagnant in the market, and you have to wait for price to come up to that level to actually hit that order and fill it. So I'm going to go over both of these types of orders. I'll open small positions just to walk you guys through it. So at the top here, you can see you have your actual leverage. I have it set to 12x right now, but there is an important thing that I want to talk about, and that is the type of margin that you're using. Now you can see here, I have mine set to isolated. The other type of margin we have is cross margin. Now I don't typically recommend anybody use cross margin, because if the trade goes against you enough and you need more margin to cover your position, this will automatically pull from your actual balance, right? So if you put $100 on your trade and the price goes against you and it needs to cover that position, it will pull it from your actual balance, which means that you can lose more than you actually have on the trade. Now, if you switch over to isolated, which is what I 100% recommend, if you put $100 on your trade, if the price goes against you, the worst thing that can happen is you just get liquidated, but only for the amount of money that you have on the trade. So if I have $100 on the trade, price goes against me, and for some reason I get liquidated, which should never happen to you, and we're going to talk about why in a second, but if price does go against you and you don't have a stop loss, you will get liquidated, but you'll only lose the amount of money that you have on that trade. So you'll only lose that $100, and it won't pull from your actual account balance. So number one, very important, make sure you're on isolated leverage unless you know what you're doing and you understand cross margin. So I'm going to go ahead and hit confirm on that. And then if you click this little box here, you see we can change between 1 all the way up to 150x leverage. Yes, this is where everybody's eyes light up with money signs. If you put $1 in on 150x leverage, it will allow you to open a $150 position size. However, again, remember, if you're using high leverage, that liquidation level is going to be right up your butt, and all price has to do is sneeze to the downside, and you will lose all the money in your trade. So if you're new, I would honestly recommend sticking below 5x leverage if you want to play around, and make sure you're never depositing more money than you're willing to lose. But for me, I'm a little bit more of an experienced trader, so I am using 12x. But again, if you're a beginner, please be safe. So I'm actually going to change my leverage to 10x. That is how you set up your leverage. You want to make sure you're on isolated, and then if you're new, stay below 5 or 3x leverage. If you're more experienced and you know what you're doing, use whatever leverage you're used to. Now, if we come on down a little bit more here, you can see we have the different types of orders. The two main types of orders are market orders and limit orders. Now, with a market order, this is oftentimes what I like to use when I'm trading, and it will get you instantly into your position. So if you wanted to short Bitcoin right now and you were on market order, you would set your position size, hit sell, and then you would instantly be entered into the trade. Now, this is good if you want to aggressively enter the trade at that moment. You're clicking the button and getting right into the market. However, it does come with higher fees, but I see fees basically as a cost of doing business, so they don't really bother me too much. And then the other type of order that we have is a limit order. Now, a limit order is what we call a passive order. This is an order that you set a price for, and that order will sit in the market stagnant until price comes up or down and actually touches that level to fill your order. So if you're watching a level of resistance, you did some TA, you pulled your fib, and you know you want to short that golden pocket, you might want to put that limit order right on that golden pocket. So if you're not in your office or sitting at your desk or wherever you like to trade on your phone. You don't have to pay attention, and if price comes into that area, you will get automatically entered into that order when price winds up hitting that level. Now, you do have to be careful with these because if you have one set that you forgot about and you're not paying attention, that order can get filled and then price goes against you and you won't realize until you go back and check your account or you get that liquidation notification, which nobody wants to get. So real quick, let me go ahead and enter a quick little market order here for you guys just to kind of show you guys how it actually works. Now, again, remember we are on 10x leverage here. So if we're on market order, you could go ahead and slide this little slider and it will basically show you how much of your account you're going to use. Now, if you guys are interested in figuring out how much of your account you should be trading with or how much risk you should be putting onto a trade, you could check the tutorials on the channel. This YouTube channel is basically a free trading course, but I'm not going to go too deep into that in this tutorial. But let's just go ahead and say we want to use about 25% of the account. Now, this is a smaller account for me personally, but if we use 25% of the account, you can see that our cost is $583. So this cost is how much of your own capital is going onto the trade, right? So I'll be using about $583 of my own money. However, if you come on up to the buy and sell button, you can see that the position size is $5,800 and almost $50, right? And this is because we are on 10x leverage. So we're using $583 to open a $5,800 order. And this is the beauty of leverage. So you don't necessarily need a ton of money to open these big positions. But again, remember, this is where people's eyes light up and they think to themselves, well, hey, what if I just crank this up to 150x leverage? And now I'm trading with an $81,000 position with only $500. The problem with this is, especially on 150x, the price barely has to go against you and you will lose all your money almost instantly. So I don't recommend ever using leverage that high, but it is there. And just to kind of show how the leverage works and why people get so excited over it, for $542, you can open an $81,000 position. But please be careful. I don't recommend anybody ever do that, but just kind of an easy way to show the drastic change between 10x and 150x leverage. So I am definitely going to crank this down to 10x again here because we do not want to open a 150x position. There you go. So now we have a $5,845 position, and we'll just go ahead and say, hey, we're hitting resistance. We think price is going to come down. This is obviously not a legitimate trade setup, but we'll just go ahead and enter the position here to show you guys what it looks like. So guys, before we actually open this position, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go ahead and hide myself so you guys can see the entire screen. There we go. Now you guys can see the entire exchange, so I'm not covering anything important. But there we are. I actually did record this already, this entire section. I was covering up a lot of important stuff, so I'm just going to reshoot it here for you guys. But we're going to go ahead and click on, we're on market order here. We're going to go ahead and click sell short to enter that short position here at resistance. There you go. There's the order confirmation. 10x, about a $5,800 position. We're going to go ahead and confirm that. And remember, this is a market order, so here we go. Boom, we are instantly in the position here, up about 27 cents, and now we lost it all. I'm just kidding, guys. Down about $1.37 here, but you can see here, just starting off from the left to the right here, you can see Bitcoin USDT. That is the pair that we're trading. It is a sell position because we're in a short on 10x leverage. You can click this button here to adjust your leverage. However, this will change the margin you have on the actual position. If you raise your leverage, it will actually pull margin out of your trade, meaning it will pull your own capital out of the position and then kind of replace it with that leverage. And if you decrease your leverage, you're actually going to wind up increasing the capital that you personally have on the trade. So you have to understand that relationship. If you change the leverage, the amount of money on your trade will also change. So you have to keep an eye on that. So for this case, I will just keep it on 10x leverage. So there you go, $5,830 position. That's our total position size. That is the size of the actual trade. The average entry price, this is our average entry of where we got into the short. And then margin is simply a fancy word for your capital or your collateral that you actually have on the position. Now, if we were to crank up that leverage, this number would go down. If we were to crank down the leverage, that would increase this number. So again, I don't recommend you really change your leverage while you're already in a position unless you understand the relationship between leverage and margin. However, I know a lot of people get tripped up over that word margin, and that's just simply the collateral or capital that you have on the actual trade. And then you can see the unrealized P&L here. This will be going up and down. And right now we are down about almost $5, but hopefully if the price comes down here, you guys will see this either go into profit or further into a loss. And remember, we are short, so we are betting on the price going down. That is the beauty of being able to short the market, especially in the candle mafia. We are not a slave to waiting for price to go up, but simply we can make money as price goes down. Then you can see here, very important, your estimated liquidation price. So we know, right, if that price comes all the way up to that $63,225 level, that is the level that when it gets hit, that is the level that when hit will completely exit us out of the entire trade, and we will lose all of our margin of $582. But if you're setting a stop loss, you should never, ever, ever be worried about that liquidation level, because you should be getting stomped out way before that price comes in. But it is nice to know where that is, and that is in orange. They try to make it stand out for you there so you don't miss it. And then the mark price is just the current price of the asset. Now, this next little tab here is very, very cool, guys, because this allows you to take partial profits or even de-risk and exit a portion of your trade if you are in a loss, just to protect yourself a little bit. But typically, I use this to take partial profits on my trades. So let's say we did wind up coming down and we were in profit. Simply what we can do here is change this to 50%, right? And that is letting us know that we will be taking 50% or closing 50% of the position. And then it tells you your estimated P&L. Obviously, we wouldn't really want to do this at a loss right now, at least in this specific situation. But if you were in profit, this is how you could take partial profits. That way, you're locking in profits along the way. And if you guys are interested in how to manage your risk to guarantee winning trades, you could check the card above where I show you to do exactly that. And then if you wanted to just close 100% of it, I guess you could do it like this. Or if you wanted to close the entire position, you could also just click this X here, which is super, super, super cool. And then if you had multiple trades open on multiple assets, you could simply hit close all. This will close all the trades that you have open on everything. And then you also have this convenient reverse button, which if you wanted to just randomly flip from short to long, you could just go ahead and click reverse, and it will just reopen a position of the exact same size in the reverse direction. So if we wanted to change our mind really quickly and say, hey, I think it's going to go up, you could just click that reverse button, and it will wind up entering you into a long and closing your short. And then right here, this is my favorite part of the dashboard here, and that is the take profit and the stop loss. Now, obviously, I would recommend doing this in your trading panel before you actually enter the trade. You could put your take profit, you could put your stop loss, and then you could just set and forget your trade. If you're not sitting at your desk at the time, you could simply just walk away, and then you'll either win the trade or lose the trade. But the beautiful thing is you'll know exactly how much you'll make or lose. We just come down here to TPSL, or take profit stop loss. You can click the plus button, and that will pull up this little window here where you could set your take profit and your stop loss. So let's go ahead and say, well, hey, if we wind up breaking this previous high that we made at about 58.3, I want to get out of the trade. So we go over to take profit stop loss, and we'll go ahead and say $58,300, and we will simply lose $59 if price hits that level and stops us out. And now let's go ahead and confirm that. So we have that now set, and you can see the stop loss actually pops up on your chart, which is very nice because it makes it very easy if you want to go ahead and move your stop loss, which I do not recommend doing. You can just simply grab this and move it up if you wanted to give your trade a little bit more room to breathe. And then once you let that go, it will change your order very nicely and very quickly. And it is just nice to see, visually where your stop loss is. It just makes it nice and simple. And you can move that as much as you want. And then for the take profit, let's say if price does come down here, we'll say we're targeting, this low here at about 54.2, just for argument's sake. Come back over here, $54,200 for the take profit trigger. And then you can see if we do wind up hitting that take profit, we will make $354. So we're risking $106 to make $354. And we are not risking at all a chance of liquidation, right? Assuming this stop loss does get triggered, you should not be worried about your price getting liquidated and losing all 582 of your dollars, because you are now limiting your risk to $106. And this is the beauty of setting your take profit and stop loss ahead of time, because now you know, hey, and then when I come back to the exchange, I'll either make $106 or I'll be up $354. And then making sure that you're setting yourself up to lose much less than you're going to make on each trade is simply the best way to become a profitable trader, as long as your TA and your setups are all good. Managing that risk is the number one thing I see new traders mess up. They're not willing to accept that they're wrong on a trade and take a small loss. They'd rather hold on to that hope, and then they just hope price goes back in the direction that they originally thought, and they wind up getting liquidated, and then they quit trading, and they never get out of the rat race, and they never become a profitable trader. And it mostly always comes down to risk management, at least in my own experience. So we'll go ahead and confirm that. You can see the take profit also pops up down here. This is also movable if you wanted to move your take profit down. Again, I don't necessarily recommend this. I recommend setting those levels, accepting your trading idea, and then just seeing it play out in full. But if you did want to move this for some reason, maybe you want to, say, oh, I don't think we're going to come all the way down here. I want to move it up here. I want to make it a smaller trade. You could simply drag that take profit and stop loss in the same exact way. So there you go. I'm actually going to go ahead and I'll take off the take profit. I'll take off the stop loss. And then I'm also going to close this trade. You can go ahead and click this X right here. It's going to be an $18 loss, but no big deal. This was only for example purposes. So I'm just going to close that for an $18 loss. And then you can see, obviously you could close it with this X, or you could go ahead and close all. There's many ways to close the positions, or you could just click 100% and close it here. But for simplicity, I'm just going to go ahead and click this X, and you will see for a $20 loss, we go ahead and click that, and we are now out of the trade for a $20 loss. And if we check the P&L here, you can see we actually only wound up losing $18. And then in the last tutorial, we actually came up $1. But one thing I do want to show here, guys, is I do want you guys to realize here are some recent trades I've taken on this account. This is a smaller account for me personally, but you can see here $21 loss, $194 win, 33-cent loss, $850 win, $969 win, $392 loss. And the one thing that you notice here is that the losses are much smaller than the wins. And this is very important to becoming a profitable trader. So with that being said, I do just want to really quickly go over the limit orders, guys, just to kind of just put you through that execution so you guys can see kind of how it works. So basically what we're going to do here, there's a couple different ways you can do it. If you go ahead, you'll select your position size. We'll just say we want to put about $100 on the position. You can see the cost is $115. We're on 10x leverage, so it's going to be an $1,100, almost $1,200 position. We'll actually do a long this time, but for the limit order, guys, this is going to set the passive order in the market, essentially putting that level somewhere in the market here, and then you need price to simply come down and hit that level in order to enter you into the trade. So basically what you're going to want to do, we'll put that $100 on the account, about $115 for that almost $1,200 position. And when we go ahead and enter the buy order here, we're going to want to go ahead and put a price that we want that order to come in at. So let's go ahead and say, hey, maybe we think we're going to come back down to a golden pocket or something like that. So we think price is simply going to come down to that 618, tap that level and continue up. We're going to want to get into the position right here, but we don't want to sit here and watch price. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab that price, which is about $57,400. So we're going to go here, $57,400. And then we're going to want to long it, right? So you're going to click long. And then you have your order confirmation letting you know the amount and the price that it will be executed at. And then you hit confirm. I'll get rid of the fib here, and you guys can see that limit order is simply sitting here. So as price comes down, once that level gets crossed, we will enter into the long position, and then hopefully price would bounce and continue to the upside, putting us into a profitable trade. But until price comes down there and hits that level, we are not in a position, and you can see we are in no positions sitting down here. So that is what a limit order is. That's kind of how they work. I just wanted to put it through a full execution so you guys can kind of see how it works. But I'm going to close that position just because I'm not going to wait for price to come all the way back down there, as this is only an example. I don't actually think price is going to bounce at that level, but that is essentially how you go ahead and put in that limit order. And if you guys are interested in checking out some free trade setups from your boy, Frankie Candles, you guys can join my free Discord in the link in the description down below. And if you are taking advantage of that deal that we worked out for the Mafia, you guys might as well go ahead and get into the dining room. You can come in here, read the instructions. All you have to do is paste your user ID in a Google form, and you will get access to some premium TA here posted once a week from me, where we oftentimes put trade setups. You guys can see here, we did put in a short setup here. So the Mafia was ready to short at $72,000, which you guys can see here was basically the top before this massive move to the downside. So if you guys are interested in that, all the links are in the description down below. Now get out there, load up an account, and stop only making money when the price goes up and start learning how to capitalize on those dumps to the downside. Especially over the past couple weeks here, we have been seeing moves to the downside, but it's never boring in the Candle Mafia because we make money going both ways. So that's all the time I got for this video, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Frankie Candles out.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me under man.